Hi and welcome. So glad you can join us. My name's Stuart. I'm from Coretium Media. We're a digital marketing agency based in the Canary Wharf area of London, and we help SMEs generate qualified business leads and increase their brand awareness online. This webinar is all about how to attract, capture, and nurture business leads online. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, if you look to the bottom right of your screen, you'll see a chat box. You can get in touch with us at any time using that box. Any questions you have throughout, please feel free to enter your name and email into that box, and you should be able to talk to us directly. Or if you want to talk to us immediately, do give us a call on 0207 537 6602 or send us an email to info@cortiummedia.com. Just to reiterate again before we jump into this, there's a chat box on the bottom right corner of your screen. You can speak to us at any time, so any questions you have, do feel free to fire away and we'll be straight back in touch with you to answer your questions. So the first question we have to get to is, what is a business lead? We define a business lead as someone who expresses interest in discussing your business opportunity further after being introduced to your services. Now this is quite key, because if they're not introduced to your services and have expressed interest in talking further, what you'll find a lot of the time is they don't want to talk specifically about your business services. They sometimes want to talk about partnerships, perhaps even just networking, or maybe even introduce their own services to you. So a qualified business lead is after you've introduced your services and explained how you can help that prospect, then they want to talk further with you specifically about your services. So probably the most common question we get asked pretty much on a day-to-day basis is, where do you find online business leads? Well, the internet is full of spaces where you can find business leads. Obviously, depending on your business, some places will be better than others, but the first go-to platforms you should be using is social media. Now, social media has boomed in the last 10 or 15 years. It is now not a case of if you're on social media, it's how you do it. Your target customers are very, very likely to be on some form of social media platform. If you can recognize which platform has the highest density and makeup of your prospects, then that would be the most ideal platform. If it's business to business, chances are LinkedIn is going to be the most effective platform. Any business to consumer related services or products that you sell, Twitter and Facebook will be quite key, and Google Plus and YouTube are great to supplement that. So social media is always the first point of contact. The networks are so big, there's so many people using it on a day-to-day and hour-to-hour, even sometimes a minute-to-minute basis, that it is rife with business opportunities. So social media, and obviously these are just the main networks. There's now hundreds of different social media platforms, big and small. There might be a couple in your niche that are really targeted with your prospects. So I do advise to go and have a look on social media, do some searches and see exactly how many people are going to be in those platforms for you. So the second one is online communities and forums. Now again, depends on your location and business. There's always going to be different forums catered for different interests and topics. So if you do a quick internet search, if we take, for example, you're an accountancy business, if you type in accountancy forums, you're almost guaranteed to have some places online where people in your industry are coming together to look for those particular types of services. So they can be great ways to find business leads in those areas, people that are looking for your business. And not only looking for it, they're talking about it, they're asking about it. It's a great channel for you to be able to jump on into the conversation, identify someone, and then be able to engage with them directly. Now the third one is searching for industry news, research, and information. So whenever you have a problem, the most common method on the internet of solving that problem is to go to Google or another search engine and type in what the problem is, and then click on the first links that come up, usually on page 1, to answer that question. So Google has very kindly provided this platform that allows you to position your business in the search rankings, so that when someone has a problem or a need that your service fulfills, if you were to position yourself within that search criteria, then those business leads will be able to find you. So the fourth one is reading industry news, research, and information. So someone has typed in or found a web page, article, PDF, or any type of online material. They've identified that solves their problem, and they're digesting the content. This creates places that you can position your business within that content. It could be through ads, it could be through partnerships, or it could be through links in the content pointing back to your website. But that's always a great place to find someone, especially when you can create some sort of partnership or some sort of relevance with your service to the content that they're reading already. It's a natural navigation from where they are already to your website where you can position your service. So the fifth one is within existing databases and relationships. And this could be almost one of the easiest ways to find new online business leads. If you've got partners or relationships with other businesses that aren't in direct competition with yours, there could be potential and opportunities there to partner with them to access their business leads. So this only really works when you're not in direct competition with that partner. So if you're an accountant, there's no point trying to partner with another accountant, because why would they give you their prospects? They'd be losing out on business. But perhaps they provide a completely different accountancy service, or only provide it to that location, or have a natural upsell or cross-sell somewhere along the lines that a partnership could benefit both of you. They're the perfect instances where this would work. Also through existing relationships, the best place to look is with the people that you're already doing business with, through extended friends and family, through your existing networks. It's the best place to branch out before you go into the unknown. So look within existing relationships. If you've got social media profiles and online assets already, delve into them, see if anything comes through for them. Speak to other industry peers, partners, related industry people. Branch out and network as much as possible, and you'll find that business opportunities can present themselves to you. So once you've found those business leads and platforms where you can start to try and convince and convert those business leads, the next one is, how do you attract them to your business? How do you attract them to your products and services? Now, there's three key criteria here to be appealing, valuable, and trustworthy. Your products and services have to appeal to those business prospects. If they don't appeal, then you're not going to get them through the first line of communication, where you're not even going to have a chance to try and convince them. The second one, you have to be valuable. The prospect actually has to value your products or services. If they don't, it's very easy for them to absorb that information you're telling them and then go straight to the competitor who might have a cheaper service or be more convenient for them. You have to be valuable. And the third one is most important, is to be trustworthy. If a business lead does not trust your business, the chances of you doing business are almost obsolete. So following on from that, there's certain things that you can do to attract business leads to your business. The first one is to get your branding correct. It must be clean, clear, efficient at conveying messages, and stand out above all else. All your business messages should be well written. They should be attractive towards that audience and should appeal to them. All your business content through social media, through your websites, through your emails, all the marketing channels you're using to attract business leads should convey your USPs, your business benefits, and do that clearly and in a consistent manner. All your engagement practices, when you're speaking to your clients or speaking to your prospects, should be very trustworthy, again, should be valuable and should appeal. Don't forget to be yourself and add your personality into your engagement. There's nothing worse than speaking to a robot or saying one thing online and then on the phone having a completely different demeanour. Be very consistent with your engagement, be very open and honest above all else. All your resources should appeal and should be valuable and should create trust. Again, we're going back to those three key criteria. Your resources should deliver something that other people aren't. So it could be white papers or any case studies or any resources that will help business leads gain that trust and show that how your businesses and how your services and products can benefit them, how they really need to buy it and do it as fast as possible. And your business and product should be positioned above your competitors. Sometimes that's not feasible in certain situations, depending on if you're a new startup and you've got some big competitors already in the industry. But you should use that to your advantage. You should play on the fact that you're a small business and you're very flexible and you go above and beyond with a more personalised manner than perhaps the bigger companies. So your positioning is also very key. And that's all very key criteria for attracting business leads. So once you've attracted business leads, how do you capture them? Now, this is probably the biggest common mistake across all businesses that I've seen throughout my years in marketing. Businesses spend a lot of money attracting business leads, getting them to the right places, and then not having any idea about how to capture them. Now, this is kind of counterintuitive because why would you spend all that time and effort and money and resources on identifying and attracting and getting resources correct to get them to the stage where you're trying to convince them to do business and then you don't have the assets and the resources in place? Imagine this as an example. You spend a lot of money gaining traffic and building loads of traffic resources and loads of traffic tactics to get all your prospects to your website. Now, if you've not spent a significant portion of your resources before you enter traffic on your website to convert them, all you're paying is for traffic. You're not paying for the conversions. You should actually start with your website, build that website with conversion and capture in mind, and then drive traffic to it. So how do we capture business leads? Well, the first way you can do it is through email capture. Now, you might see on many websites there might be a blog subscribe button or a newsletter sign up button. You can actually take this a step further and incentivize the email signups by using lead magnets, which are also known as high value free gifts. They're free gifts that are so valuable prospects are willing to give up their email address in exchange for it. They could include things like ebooks, white papers, free templates, all sorts of free downloadable resources. The second one is engagement. So you can capture business leads by speaking to people and trying to take the conversation online to offline. So this actually fits in nicely with the phone inquiries and email inquiries. You might be engaging with prospects in social media or in private messaging situations and want to take the conversation to a phone inquiry to convey much more information in a more business manner. You could then use email sequences to follow up and engage with them via email with sending them proposals and more business information. The third one is live chat boxes, and you'll see again in the bottom right hand corner of this page you will see the live chat box. You can enter your name and email at any point and get in touch with us. If you have any questions about this webinar, we will be in contact with you directly through that means. Now, it's also great for capturing business leads because you can set it up so that when people put in their email addresses, you can then capture that into your CRM. Some chat boxes also have data capture like IP addresses and locations, and some you can even start and initiate the chat with someone that lands on the website. So live chat boxes are great for capturing business leads. You can have partnerships with other businesses. Again, we kind of touched on this earlier. But in order to capture business leads, you can forge partnerships, establish, nurture, and build on your partnerships with other businesses and referrals, and capture them through that way. All of these, every time you capture a business lead, it should be put into a CRM, which is a customer relationship management piece of software. Now, this closely aligns the marketing and the sales process. All the details that you've captured from the lead, their phone number, their email address, their name, all the information that you can capture. When that's input into a CRM, then the sales team can follow up and have full transparency and information about how that business lead acted, how they found you, what information they transferred, or what their problems and issues are right now. So in order to align marketing and sales and really close the gap on those two practices, you should use a CRM, which is a bit of software that you can attach to your email or attach to your technology, and then transfer that information seamlessly from marketing to sales. So they're just a few ways you can capture business leads. Obviously, there's other ones out there. They're the main ones that I recommend focusing on. You can align them easily with your marketing practices already. Engagement, for instance, you could have a plan in your social media routines and activities that you can create a framework that takes them and nurtures them through from finding them to capturing them and then transferring that to a phone inquiry or an email inquiry and merging those practices together. So they're the main ways of capturing business leads. There are some common problems with this. I see this very often across loads of different industries and niches with small businesses, but these are the three most common problems to attract, retain and nurture business leads online. Firstly, I don't have the time. Business owners are notoriously busy people. They've got 1,000 things to do a day, and the last thing they want to do is add to that to-do list. So being able to go through that process, being able to effectively manage all those things is usually not applicable. They just don't have the time. Secondly, I don't have the skills. To an extent, a lot of this is theory-based and can be learned, especially throughout a period of time in practice. But some small business owners just don't have the skills to do this. They don't have the people skills, they don't have the sales skills, they don't have the marketing skills. Especially when you break it down to a science and really explore how to use different online platforms, how to understand all the etiquette, all the functionality across them. Some people don't have the skills and some people don't want to know those skills. But the second one is I don't have the skills to do this. The third one, and usually the easiest to solve, is I don't have the technology. So if a business owner doesn't have the email software, doesn't have the social media platforms, doesn't have a website, doesn't have all those online assets and resources, then it's always going to be a problem when you're trying to attract, capture, and nurture business leads online. If you don't have the technology, it's a massive barrier to do this. In fact, it's almost impossible to do without some sort of technology. So how can we help get across those three common problems? Well, firstly, if you don't have the time, use experts. I've spoken to various coaches in industries, from business coaches, success coaches, or growth coaches, and in some circumstances, they highly advise you to outsource all of the marketing to a professional. A great example of this is with accountancy. At conferences we've been to recently, all the speakers there say you must use marketing experts to do your marketing. An accountant shouldn't be the marketing person in the business, they should use experts to do this. And the great thing about that is usually if you have a trustworthy and successful partner, it's going to be cheaper to outsource this to a company or agency rather than hiring in-house. It will cause more problems to do so. So if you don't have the time, use experts. Exactly the same success solution if you don't have the skills. Use experts. The learning curve to learn everything you need to know about online marketing and use all the strategies and channels effectively to align all the processes into a consistent business lead generation machine is difficult. If you don't have the skills, use experts. It can take a long time to learn, it can be very frustrating, and it can, more importantly, take away from the core activities that you really need to focus on to grow your business. If you don't have the skills, use experts. Thirdly, if you don't have the technology, either invest in your business or use experts. Any successful marketing company or agency will have their own software already available. They're already using it with other clients and their own business. So unless you want to invest in all the technology yourself and hire an in-house team, which can be laborious, take a lot of resources and time, and have that learning curve where you will make a lot of mistakes at the start, very simply put, use experts. So just to tell you a little bit about how Coretium Media can help you if you've got a problem with attracting, capturing and nurturing business leads. We do offer a variety of lead generation packages, a brief overview of the processes involved and the next steps. The first one, we always have a discussion with you to learn about your business and the results that you want to achieve. There's no point having packages where we're trying to merge your services to our time and our business. We don't work like that. We learn all about your businesses. We find out exactly what you want to achieve. Then we prepare a bespoke strategy, skillfully aligning the results that you want to achieve to the resources. So this is setting an expectation and a level of investment that matches your resources. Now, where our expertise really does lie is being able to do that profitably to your business, to be able to create a strategy that generates a return on investment. We then implement, analyze, and report on this on an ongoing basis. This is a circle of activities here. We don't set and forget anything. We routinely analyze and report for full transparency. Now, we do offer various campaigns, and a few of the campaigns we are actually doing some guarantees on the results. And this is revolutionary. No marketing company or agency has ever offered money-back guarantees. It's kind of unheard of in the industry. If you have come across another business like this, in a chat box below on the right, please do let me know, but I've never come across this myself. And the reasons why we're offering money back guarantees is we're so confident in these campaigns. We've got tried and tested methods and channels. We've got really skillful and fantastic staff that do this day in, day out. And through all our split tests, through the hundreds and the thousands and the millions of campaigns and statistics that we've been able to draw upon, we've really got these processes refined. So just to recap, we have an initial discussion with you to learn about what results you want to achieve. We then go away and prepare a bespoke strategy just for you and your business to align your results to the activities and resources. and then we can implement, analyse and report on this. All done within a results guarantee, a money back guarantee. So what's the next steps? Well, get in contact with Coretium Media. As I've been saying throughout this webinar, and if you look to the bottom right of your page, you will see a chat box. Simply put your name and email address in to initiate a chat. You'll be straight in touch with me or one of my staff to talk more about how we can help. If you want to talk immediately, you can call us on 0207 537 6602 or drop us an email at info@coretiummedia.com. Look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks a lot.